In 2001, we had Carter Bryant, who used to work for Mattel, designing clothes.
Drama, we're going to get to that.
Oh.
Carter Bryant allegedly wanted to diversify Barbie, which sort of led to the creation of Bratz. He wanted dolls that looked more like real girls that he had seen out in the wild at the Kickapoo.
Yeah, and he wasn't just driving by a high school, okay? It was on his route home.
I don't know.
Allegedly.
Home from what? He was on a break.
He found inspiration because
wasn't
girls were
weird.
dressing differently. Like, girls were wearing baggy pants and like
And it
high-waisted
is
baggy
very
pants.
2001.
It is like that moment
Very Y2K.
encapsulated in one moment. And also, they had different colors and different personalities. And they were like chill. You know what I mean? They were like, I'm going to work. I'm going to accomplish everything. Like, it was okay to maybe like not have an after school program. Like, you were just hanging with your girls, listening to music.
Here's the thing.
You know what I mean?
Barbie
Passion
is
for
cool, but I
fashion.
feel like Bratz definitely broke that mold because I
Yeah.
feel like it allowed more women to see themselves in dolls. It
Yeah.
represented like Y2K, like you had mentioned with the fashion. Like Barbie dressed like so many things, but I don't think that Barbie always represented the girls that saw themselves
Or
wanted
freedom.
to see themselves
Or freedom. Like, you're not, I was very like by the books. You know, I wish I hadn't been. I think that's why I'm so crazy now. Like, but for me, it was like, one day I'm going to do this and then I got to graduate, do this. And I think that's what Barbie kind of taught me was like, I need to become this thing in order to be seen. And then Bratz was just kind of like, you get to exist and have fun, like, and dress the way you want to dress and have girlfriends. Maybe girlfriends the way I wanted. And so that's really important.
You really think that Barbie taught you that you have to?
No, because it was like, if you want to be a teacher, or if you want to be this, you have to get straight A's. You have to like, I think there's some.
Barbie never said that.
Barbie said that. When I was playing with Barbie was like, are you good enough? And I'm like, I don't
Barbie
think
never
so.
said that.
But it's like Barbie kind of represents like tradition.
Tradition, yeah, and going by and like getting straight A's and like sticking to a course and like
Barbie
in order to
was
have
an
a career.
equestrian.
Sure. I feel like
Yeah, but to be an equestrian, there's a lot of practice and you have to like.
There
You
was
know?
there was a certain blueprint with Barbie, but I feel like Bratz almost was kind of like the disruptor.
yeah.
In a way, because even down to like what the dolls looked like, they looked completely different. Like Bratz had like the big eyes, they had the big lips, they had hips, like they were showing a lot of midriff.
I love a
lot of
midriff.
midriff.
Little midriff.
I feel like this is something we talk about on the pod a lot, which is like, you know, Barbie existed, so Bratz
100%.
could.
Yeah.
And we always have this debate of like, okay, whoever was like the first to market had like a lot of iconicness for like paving that way, and then whoever like the second person was maybe like took some of that and ran with it. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's cool that, you know, Bratz did that. That being said, I'm like, what do the Bratz do? Like, they just hang
That's what I'm
out.
saying. They
like,
hang out, but that's okay.
but I mean, like, I feel like Barbie had like a really expansive world. Like,
No,
I'm
but
like,
they-
literally
they're
whoever.
artists. They're artists.
Barbie-
and they're comedians.
What you talking about?
And they're
It's just like,
singers.
it's
And
just
they're
like,
artists.
but it's just like Barbie had all
They're
of that.
creative.
Like they also could hang out. You could also be a singer. You could be whatever.
No, but you also had to be married to Ken. And
No,
like,
you didn't.
You had
No,
to pay
you
your
didn't.
mortgage on your pink house.
No, you didn't have to
You
be
did.
married to
Bratz
Ken.
logo is the girls who have a passion for fashion.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have
Barbie-
a passion for fashion.
Yeah,
But you have a
sorry.
And
passion
not all
for-
girls are supposed to have a passion for fashion. Maybe I want to be
But
an astronaut.
But what about our passion for creativity?
Yeah,
I-
exactly.
I-
That
I
should have been
feel
their
like
tagline,
Bratz, like they
Courtney.
definitely represented fashion, but I felt like the girls definitely had like a flair for being creative. Like one of them is like a fashion editor.
Yeah, I agree.
They're in a band. Like they do
Barbie
stuff.
was in a band. It's hard.
but
It's
Barbie
hard
was in a
to
Christian
really,
band.
No, she wasn't.
band.
She was not
I
in a
just wanted to
Christian
make
band.
that
Barbie is giving mother, and Bratz is
Exactly.
giving teen
No way.
young lady.
Barbie was not
Fun
a
on.
mother.
Yeah.
The whole thing about Barbie is that she wasn't a mother. It's just sort of, and I remember vividly, when Bratz came out, I never compared it to Barbie. It was like, well,
Same.
Barbie's better. But I was just like, what's going on with those girls? and there weren't a lot of makeup. I remember thinking, there weren't a lot of makeup. Do
I
they
do-
need
I
all
do
that
remember
makeup? And
thinking
that's
that
the
too.
thing, that
I do
it's
remember, yeah.
showing girls that you're actually not good enough. You need to literally have so much makeup in order to be enough. And
No.
that,
You
I'm
don't
sorry,
think-
but Barbie
No.
never did that.
Yeah.
No,
Alyssa,
but
you don't
Barbie
think
made me
that-
know that I can be natural face.
Because I knew that Barbie was a freaking doll.
A doll.
It didn't need to look like me because I'm like, guess what? I get to do whatever I want. And I have my feminist mom right behind me every time saying, that is a doll.
But not
She says
every-
that what
but not
women
every-
look
What
like.
about
but not
those
every
young ladies
girl
that didn't have
has
a
a mom
beautiful,
with hairy
iconic
legs.
feminist mother?
I didn't have that, but I knew deep down in my soul because Barbie represented imagination, okay? And there was
But that's
other
not what they pushed. That's what they represented to you.
What did they
No,
push?
that- yeah, what did they push? Bratz pushed fashion?
They pushed a lifeline. They
I feel
pushed
like
a path that
they
you had to
pushed-
follow
Allegedly,
in
what
order
are
I feel
you?
like
you
Barbie-
don't
I
know
think in
that.
a way Barbie represents tradition and represents like this line of what you have to do in order to like feel successful or feel seen by society. And I think that's a subconscious thing. This is not something that they're going like, you must be this to enjoy Barbie.
Barbie literally was she was the antithesis of tradition because she came in and she said, you don't have to just get married and you don't have to be a wife and you don't have to be a mother. You can literally be anything. Women were not allowed to go to college. They weren't even allowed to have a credit card until like the freaking 70s.
I know, but also Barbie didn't even wear pants until pants were allowed. Like Barbie had standard traditional things that like she had to go by.
Barbie definitely represented certain values and traditions for the time.
Yeah.
But Bratz would not have come along or been developed if something about Barbie was not.
So what did Bratz represent?
Something was clearly missing, so Bratz had to be developed.